well, good morning, everyone. This is Commissioner Starr. Today is Tuesday, January 17th, 2023, and we'll call this meeting to order at 8 a.m. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to mute their phone. You can do this by pressing *6. Please unmute yourself when called to speak, again pressing *6. It is very important for all others to remain muted. Thank you. Okay, well, once again, welcome, and we'll start with the Board of Commissioners roll call. Commissioner Bell, are you with us today?
Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning. And Commissioner Yamamoto?
Yes, good morning.
Excellent. All right, well, we're going to jump right in with Adventist Health Tillamook. Eric, are you with us this morning?
I am. Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
So we have 10 patients in the hospital today. No patients that are COVID positive. No patients boarding in the emergency department. Surgery has 4 cases scheduled today. Our ambulance had a quiet day yesterday with 2 911 transports is all they had yesterday for the holiday. Let's see. We're going to go back to the last OHA report, which was on the 11th. And the number of hospitalized patients with COVID-19 across Oregon is 261, 6 less than yesterday. There are 36 COVID-19 patients in intensive care unit beds, no change from yesterday, 10 patients on ventilators. 2.2% of all emergency department visits across Oregon were for COVID-like illness, and there were 4,271 ED visits across Oregon yesterday. 24 available adult ICU beds out of 349 total, that's 7% availability. 95 available adult non-ICU beds out of 1,970, that's 5% availability. And this is actual real-time data. Right now there are 216 patients boarding in emergency departments across Oregon. That's 3 more than yesterday. Discharge delays, 439, which is 13 less than yesterday. So still some work to be done there. I just want to thank the board for signing a proclamation celebrating Adventist Health 50 years of serving Tillamook County. For those of you who don't know, Adventist Health started management of this hospital in August of 1973. So this is a year of celebration for us for serving this community for 50 years, and we are looking forward to another 50. I also want to make sure that the community knows that Dr. John Bowman has fully retired, and there is a retirement reception on Thursday, this Thursday the 19th from 1:30 to 3 p.m. at Pacific Restaurant. Dr. Bowman loves berry pie and all kinds of pies, so there's going to be all kinds of delicious pies that Nelia is creating for us. And it's just going to be a come-and-go reception from 1:30 to 3 to celebrate Dr. John Bowman's 41 years of practicing medicine, the last 11 working here at Adventist Health Tillamook as an internal medicine physician and our chief medical officer. So with that, unless you have questions, I will go back on mute.
Thank you so much, Eric, and congratulations to Dr. Bowman. He has been just such a great leader, I know, at Adventist Health, and while his retirement is well-deserved, he will be missed. So are there other questions? Other questions for Eric this morning? Okay, hearing none, we will thank you so much for your report, and we will move on. I have looked through my phone numbers. I do not see our Coastal Caucus with us this morning, but I'm going to give a shout out just in case they've tricked me by calling in from a different number. Do we have anyone with the Coastal Caucus with us today?
Well, good morning, Commissioners. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Thank you. We're happy to have you,
Well,
Representative.
good morning. David Gomberg here, and as you all know, the legislative session is underway now. If you're hearing a lot of road noise, it's because I'm on my way to Salem as we speak. But I did want to join all of you this morning to share some news. Some news that I found a little bit troubling. Now, one of the first acts of our new governor was to declare a statewide emergency for housing and homelessness. And I'm very pleased that she took immediate and decisive action to deal with this very, very serious problem. My concern is that the emergency declaration will not apply in Lincoln or Tillamook counties. In fact, it will not apply anywhere on the Oregon coast. It won't apply anywhere in eastern Oregon either. And here's what's going on. In order to determine where these emergencies exist, they are relying on regions of the state identified by HUD, the National Department of Housing and Urban Development. These regions are called continuums of care. You don't have to remember that. What you do need to remember is that there's 7 of them, and that 6 of them are clustered all around our metropolitan centers. Portland, Eugene, Salem, Grants Pass, Medford, Bend. And then the final one is all the rest of Oregon, 26 counties, making up the rural continuum. And what they did to determine where this emergency exists is to say, is there more than a 50% increase in homelessness in your continuum? Well, in all of those urban places there was, but in the rural continuum, let's acknowledge that Eastern Oregon is different than Western Oregon. For example, when the counts are done in January, there were fewer homeless people in Harney County because it's awfully cold in Harney County. On the other hand, here at the coast, because we rely so much on the hospitality industry, and the hospitality industry was hit so very hard by the pandemic, we have a disproportionately high number of homeless people here. But when you average together Eastern Oregon and Western Oregon, they particularly said that they would be counting homeless students, students that are couch surfing or sleeping in somebody's RV because they are not technically unsheltered, although they're certainly categorized as homeless. And we have some of the highest student homeless counts in the state as well. So I was troubled that the homelessness declaration did not apply to us. And in response, I authored a letter, and the entire Coastal Caucus signed on last Wednesday, expressing our concern and asking the governor to allow communities to opt in or opt out of the emergency declaration. And some cities simply want the Department of Emergency Services showing up and telling them how to run their homeless program. Other communities really need the support. I mean, communities like ours that may not have been able to find the resources to do a strong count. Because I'll tell you, in Lincoln County, when they did the 2022 count, a COVID surge was just kicking in. They had volunteers drive up and down the highway counting homeless people, when we well know that most of the homeless people are not visible from the highway, and our counts were lower than they might have otherwise been. So the Coastal Caucus has sent a letter to the governor. I know that Lincoln County has sent a letter to the governor. Other counties are contemplating that as well. One of the governor's first acts was to declare a state of emergency for homelessness. One of the first acts of the Coastal Caucus was to say, what about us? And I wanted to make sure you were up to speed and your listeners are up to speed. I know that we've already been in contact about this important issue. Sorry to explain at length, but I think it's important, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Representative. I really appreciate the actions of the Coastal Caucus. I also pulled those emergency orders and immediately recognized that we were not a part of that. As you know, homelessness is something very close to my heart and my prior work. So I also, in support of your letter, lifted up your letter to Taylor Smiley Wolf, who is the governor's Homeless and Housing Initiative Director, who had spoken with the week prior when they did listening sessions across our region, and did receive a response from her. And I'm hopeful that in the voices that have been raised, the governor will take a step to allow, as you have suggested, the opt-in. I think the other part of it that was very disconcerting to me is that the rural Oregon continuum of care has had higher per capita homeless numbers for years. If you go back and look at the history of the Rural Oregon Continuum of Care, you will see that we have always had a greater number for our population than the metro area. So to decide that because they've now caught up with us, that they get money and we don't, is equally distressing to me. We've never received extra support for what's happening in our communities, but suddenly they do. So I just really want to thank the Coastal Caucus for the work that they did to bring that to the governor's attention. And please know that Tillamook County is with you, and we are also elevating those same issues alongside you. So I appreciate that.
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes, please.
Thank you. And I want to thank Representative Gomberg for being with us today. We know that we are no longer part of your district. But we also recognize, David, that you care very much about the entire Tillamook coast. And we do appreciate it. The rapidity with which you put that letter together with the Coastal Caucus, got it signed by everyone and sent off to the governor's office. Truly remarkable. I mean, that was really quick. So again, David, I appreciate everything you're doing here, and please keep in touch with us. You are welcome on this call anytime.
Well, thank you again, Commissioners. My committees don't start till 9 o'clock, so it gives me an opportunity to pull over on the side of the road and phone in, and I thank you for your good work.
Thank you so much, Representative. We do appreciate you joining us, and we will let you continue your drive safely. So thank you again. Okay, one more shout out in case our other Coastal Caucus members were able to join us. I know that with the session underway, we'll probably be a little more hit and miss with them, depending on their committee timing and schedules. So we will go ahead then and move on to the Tillamook County Community Health Center. Do we have Marlene Putman or Ed Colson with us today?
Well, good morning there. This is Ed Colson with the Health Department.
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning. So as of the 11th, Tillamook County has 5 new cases of COVID-19 and a test positivity rate of 31.37%. That was measured over the past week. However, community level of disease impact is low, with 1.3 new COVID-19 cases admitted to the hospital and 5.1% per 100,000 staffed inpatient beds being occupied by a confirmed COVID-19 patient. So we want to reiterate and let everybody know, if you're feeling ill with flu-like symptoms, please stay home and contact your healthcare provider to see about potential testing options. If you do test positive for COVID-19, please follow the 5-day isolation period and 5 days of mask wearing afterward, and then continue frequent hand washing and disinfecting of high-touch surfaces. And it is not too late to get your flu shot or your COVID-19 booster to protect yourself from getting very sick. Flu and COVID-19 vaccines remain available by appointment at many healthcare facilities and pharmacies within the county, including at our main health center location. So for resources and support with isolation or finding a vaccine, you can give us a call at the Health Department at 503-842-3940 or contact 211. On Wednesday the 25th, we will be partnering once again with CARE for their annual Houseless Connect. The event is held at 904 Main Street, the old La Tida Garage, from 12 to 3 p.m. We'll have multiple staff present offering dental services, immunizations, harm reduction services, and OHP assistance. And that is the Health Department's report for this morning.
Thank you, Ed. Are there any questions for Ed this morning? Okay, hearing none, we will just keep right on moving. The Halem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy. Gail, are you with us this morning? I don't see her number, but I always like to give a call out in case they have called from some other number, which can happen. Okay, so not seeing or hearing from Gail this morning, we will go ahead and jump on to Tillamook Family Counseling Center. Frank, are you with us this morning?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Ken Williams, Tillamook Family Counseling Center, behavioral health services for Tillamook County residents. You can reach us for information regarding appointments or any of our services, counseling services, our parenting supports, or any concerns related to that may be more acute, and reaching the person who is our clinician on call, you can do that by calling 503-842-8201. I wanted to also have a special acknowledgement. I was listening to Eric talking about Dr. Bowman, and I just wanted to acknowledge Dr. Bowman, and he has been a very important partner to our work here at Tillamook Family Contact Center over the years. So I want to acknowledge him and acknowledge his career and his work in partnership with behavioral health and the agency. Also like to bring to your attention that on the 27th of January we will have 2 QPR offerings. That's Question, Persuade, and Refer, and that is our suicide prevention initiative. And there will be one presentation in English and one in Spanish on that day. So if you have any interest, any questions about QPR or any of our other services, please 503-842-8201. And that is my report for today, and I'll take any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that. Any questions for Frank this morning? Okay, hearing none. Thank you, Frank. We will move on to the sheriff's office. I don't see the sheriff's phone number, but I'll ask again, is the sheriff with us or perhaps the undersheriff this morning?
So I'll just mention, as I was coming in to the courthouse this morning, there's something going on in South County. I was passed by so many emergency vehicles going south on Highway 101. So I think maybe the sheriff's office is tied up with whatever action is going on.
Thank you, Commissioner. I too saw some of those lights. So we will hope that has a positive outcome, whatever that may be. Okay, emergency management. Randy Thorpe let me know he could not join us this morning. So when we move right on to the Board of Commissioners, and Commissioner Bell, would you like to kick us off this morning?
Good morning. I'd be happy to. Well, I just want to mention a couple things that are going on in the community that are interesting. This week, I think I talked about this last week, but I'll mention it again briefly. The Tillamook County Library is conducting a strategic plan, and they're in the process of getting feedback from the community about what the community wants and needs from its library. And this week, they are having a listening session at the main branch in Tillamook on Thursday the 6th, Thursday at 6 p.m. So this Thursday at 6 p.m., it's just an hour, it's in person. Please go to the library and share your thoughts with the library director, Don Algier, and staff there. The community input is really important to us in terms of strategic planning to know what the community wants and needs from its library. So I hope that folks will be able to participate. You can find the information about that on the library's website and also on their Facebook page, but it's this Thursday from 6 to 7. I also want to mention that there is a North County Pie Day this coming weekend on Saturday the 21st, and that is to benefit the Moeller Grange. So the White Clover Grange is having Pie Day. It is at 2:30 on Saturday, and I know about this because they asked me to bake pies for the auction. And it's a very fun event. It's just super fun. It's at the Grange, 2:30 to 4:30, and it's an all-you-can-eat pie event. There will be sweet pies and savory pies. The cost to get in is just $15, and then in addition to the all-you-can-eat pie feast, there's also a pie auction, which is a lot of fun. And I wanted to wrap up by saying Tillamook County Parks is offering special prices for shoulder season visitors. So if you're interested in camping or staying at Tillamook County Parks, we have some adorable cabins at Barview, etc. You might check out the parks page or on Facebook and look and see. It's long been our intention in Tillamook County to not seek more visitors in the summer because we all know we have more than enough, but to invite people to come in the winter months, so to stretch out the season. And so we have some specials for parks visitors in the winter, and I encourage you to check that out. And with that, I think I will wrap it up and say thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner. Commissioner Yamamoto.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So, not a lot going on last week, although I have a few issues to report. We had a visit, and I think they met with all three commissioners. We had a visit from Harry McQuillan and Kate Iaquinto, both U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Oregon Coast National Wildlife Refuge Complex. We have the Nestucca Bay Wildlife Refuge Complex down in South County. And, we really have not had much interaction with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in their wildlife refuges. So they are definitely reaching out, especially all up and down the coast. And I think this is great. They've got a lot to offer. They are looking to add more wildlife refuges. So this was a great meeting with both Harry and Kate, and I look forward to continuing to work with them. Matter of fact, I think we're going to try to involve them in the Tillamook Working Lands and Waters Cooperative, since they offer so much, and so I'm hoping that will continue to move forward. We got together with our attorneys in the Coho lawsuit last week, and the state, against our wishes, is moving forward with a settlement offer on the Coho case, even though their attorneys, the Department of Justice, don't think we can win this case. Our attorneys and OFIC's attorneys were both interveners in this case. Both of us think that we have a great chance of winning this case. But be that as it may, we don't have much of a voice since we are just interveners in this. So it looks like there is going to be a settlement, although we still have not heard from Kel Mukamoto, our state forester. It's my understanding that Kel is the one that needs to make the final decision on this. So as a matter of fact, we have a meeting with Mike Wilson and Kel Mukamoto later on this month, and that's going to be one of the questions that I'm going to be asking him. So also on Saturday, we had a visit from Senator Jeff Merkley at the Tillamook High School cafeteria. Was great for him to be. Of course, the prior week we hosted Senator Ron Wyden at the Port of Tillamook Bay Officers Mess. So it's great that our senators become involved. It is their goal to go to each and every county in the state of Oregon at least once a year and have these open town halls, which is wonderful. For both Senator Wyden and Senator Merkley. I mean, their work on SRS, Secure Rural Schools funding, and PILT, Payment in Lieu of Taxes funding, is tremendous. I thank both Senator Wyden and Senator Merkley for all the money that was brought in this last budget process. Again, the Tillamook Bay Health Center and Pharmacy got $3 million. Tillamook County got $3 million to further our high-speed internet, broadband, as well as $2 million for our emergency radio operation system. So there's just a lot going on, and of course the year before they brought in $68 million for us to get the South Jetty repaired, and that work should be starting in the next few months. So again, there's a bunch going on. I do want to make one other announcement. It was announced that Congresswoman Bonamici would be with Senator Merkley on Saturday. I'm not sure that all of you know, but Congresswoman Bonamici and her husband were involved in a minor accident Friday night, and so they were unable to make it on Saturday. Congresswoman Bonamici was also supposed to be in Tillamook County today, but unfortunately she had to cancel those. She promised she would be rescheduling a visit to Tillamook County. She is our new congressperson for Tillamook County. So with that, I think I will turn it back over to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Okay, well, as always, they're busy weeks. So last week, we did have our short-term rental advisory committee meeting. It was a very, I think, good meeting. We brought out a draft of the new ordinance based on what had been brought to us by committee members. It is not in any way final. It is now the document that the committee will work their way through to see if what we have talked about has been incorporated and to continue to refine and add and subtract. And it is very much a working document, but I bring that to your attention so that if you would like to take a look at it, it is posted at the Community Development website. Under the Short-Term Rental Advisory Committee documentation. You can also listen to the recording of that meeting there if you would like to do so. It is a very significant issue in our community, and people are very passionate about it. So I just want people to know that the information is there. These meetings are happening. They are public meetings. People are always invited to join us for those meetings. The next one will be February, I believe it's the 14th. And it will be held at the Port of Tillamook Bay, as well as having an online option. And we do take public comment at the end of those meetings, but I will point out that there is a limited amount of time for public comment at those meetings. And so not everyone is always able to make their public comment. So we also encourage written public comments so that we can have everybody's voices inform this process. And I do promise you that we read the written comments. So if you are one of those people who was hoping to comment and did not get an opportunity to do so, please know that written comments are always accepted. You can send those to the commissioners who will forward them to the Department of Community Development, or you can send them directly to the Department of Community Development. That email is also available on the website, which is a lot easier than me reciting it and you trying to write it down. So just to know that work continues, and there is a draft for people to look at. On Thursday, I had the opportunity to go to two meetings that were, I think, impactful for Tillamook County. The first one is our Columbia Pacific Economic Development District meeting, and we talked a bit about what they are doing to help drive economic development in Tillamook County. One of the big pieces that I think is really a great addition to the tools they provide for us is a Rural Capacity Fund grant that they have, which provides for a grant writer to assist our special districts and cities with areas that they find they need funding for. And I would just point out that currently they are working with the city of Garibaldi, the city of Wheeler, the Neocani Water District, and the Port of Tillamook Bay. If you are part of a city or a special district in Tillamook County and you have not yet connected with Juliette Himes at Colpack, please feel free to reach out to her. You can find her information on the Colpack website. She is available to talk with you about the needs of your city or your special district and to see if she can help you identify and seek funding. So an important program that they have to help and support us here in Tillamook County. In the afternoon of Thursday, I was able to go to our Northwest Area Commission on Transportation meeting, and I know that roads and transportation are a very big issue in Tillamook County. This is a committee that functions specifically to hear from and provide information back to ODOT. We were able to hear what was happening related to that, and the one I'm going to bring up is the Oregon 6 study. I know that many of you, if not all of you, are aware of the study bill that now Senator Suzanne Weber got passed, I think it was a year ago now, and the study is underway. So I look for public meetings beginning in mid-February. They're going to go back out. They will have both in-person meetings, opportunities for online participation through surveys and what they call an online open house, where they can take your feedback. And so I don't have the dates for the in-person meeting yet, but I just wanted to bring that up so you would know to be looking for those, and we'll make sure they get out to the public in significant ways. But that Oregon 6 study is underway, and they will be coming back. They've already gotten some public input. They will be coming back to get some more, and that report to the legislature will be presented in September of 2023 for its final form. That was kind of the big piece from that meeting, there is definitely some work going on to also look at establishing some local traffic safety committees in each county that could inform a larger plan. That work is just in its infancy, so stay tuned. Hopefully I will be coming back with a plan for how to engage with a local safety committee to inform ODOT as to the many needs we have on their highways. Okay, that was last week. Commissioner Yamamoto already spoke about the town hall, so I will just second that to say it's always wonderful to see our federal elected officials in our own community listening, and I appreciate Senator Merkley for coming here to do that with all of us. And with that, I will leave it. I have a number of things going on this week, but I'll tell you what they are next week. So we will go ahead and move on from the Board of Commissioners to our cities. So City of Manzanita, Layla.
Good morning, Commissioner. Can you hear me?
Good morning, I can.
Excellent. First time. Well, good morning, everyone. Just a few short updates from the or that the city mission. If you go to the city's website under government tab, it's deemed complete up onto our website. Maybe a little sooner than once the staff report is published.
So I've lost Layla's audio. Have others on
I did
the
also
call?
want to mention.
Yes, I also am having trouble. It's breaking up and going in and out.
So Layla, your audio is kind of in and out. So Layla, do you want to try giving us a call on the telephone perhaps and see if we get a better connection with you? I can move on and circle back to you. And if you're talking now, we don't hear him. I've got a chat. Let's see if she's going to try the telephone. So I'm going to go ahead and go work through our other cities, and we'll give Layla a chance to get called in, and we will go back to her. Do we have anyone from Nehalem this morning? Okay, how about Wheeler? Rockaway Beach. How about Garibaldi?
Rockaway Beach?
That was Rockaway
sorry.
Beach. Good morning.
You kind of, sorry about that. Hi, this is Charles McNeely. I'm beginning my first term as mayor of Rockaway Beach, and I'm excited about participating in these calls. A couple of things. Go ahead.
I was going to say, wonderful. We're delighted to have you.
Thank you. Just a couple of things to share. At the January Rockaway Beach City Council meeting, our council approved an engagement with 3J Consulting to conduct a housing needs analysis for our community, and I'm particularly excited about this as housing was one of the top mentions among residents during the recent election campaign. And then second, we very much appreciate the county commissioners voting to lease the Lake Lytle boat launch to Rockaway Beach. Our planning commission is hosting a community workshop in February to begin the visioning process as to how we can best leverage this new recreational asset for our community, tourists, and the coast. That's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. We are delighted to have you with us, and we'll look forward to having you join us in the future. Okay, I'm going to circle back to Layla and see if she was able to call in with us today.
Hi, thanks, Commissioner. Can you hear me now?
Absolutely. Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. It's my laptop, I'm afraid, so I think maybe I'll need to get an upgrade, hopefully, before next week. Well, I'll try to continue on. So I think I was mentioning, I'm not sure where you lost me, but court is canceled this week. So just wanted to make a note of that for folks. We'll be holding a city council meeting on City Hall at 2 p.m. That's tomorrow. And this will be we're attempting to do some hybrid tests So we'll be meeting at the Pine Grove Community House in person, but the council will be set up so that the meeting can be transmitted also via Zoom. So we're experimenting with that, so folks can join via Zoom for that meeting. We also, tonight is the State of the City. It's the member dinner for the Pine Grove Community House, so I'll be there with my mayor, Deb Simmons, doing a State of the City for Manzanita. So if you're a member of the Pine Grove Community House, hope to see you there tonight. We'll be posting for budget committee positions on our website, so please do keep an eye out for that. We'll have 3 positions coming open in March. And just as a reminder to please always check the city's website. We post most of the information that's urgent and necessary, kind of gets out through there and through our Facebook page. And also to please sign up for our listserv if you want to get more regular updates, which you can get to by going to our website, scrolling to the top of the screen, and just entering in your email. And with that, I'll thank you for your patience and hope everyone has a great week.
Thank you so much, Layla. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on to Garibaldi. Do we have Mayor Hall with us this morning? Okay, not hearing from the mayor. How about Bay City, Mayor David McCall? All right, moving right on down to Tillamook. Do we have City Manager Nathan George with us today?
Good morning, Commissioner. Can you hear me okay?
Good morning, we can.
Excellent. So my report's a little bit small this morning, so maybe I don't appreciate that. Thank you. So you should be aware that the police department provided safety services for U.S. Senator Mercury on Saturday, January 14th at Tillamook High School. Also, the TPD, the Tillamook Police Department, will be providing security services at the community conversation at the Tillamook Bay Community College on Tuesday, January 4th, 2023. I wanted to mention both of these. These are opportunities for our police department to not only provide security services to sporting dignitaries and other important events, but also the opportunity to be able to mingle with the community. Our community sees our police department, sees our city, sees our county, sees our community, and can work together.
So, Nathan, you're a little bit garbled. You're a bit garbled. Is there possibly something on your microphone, or?
I'm using the phone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're a bit garbled.
Do you want me to go slower?
Well, let's go ahead and go. We can keep going, and I hope everyone can understand. It's just a little tricky because it's a little garbled.
I can log in and log back out real quick.
Why don't you give that a try, and then we'll go ahead and jump down to South County. I believe that I see Doug Olson with us. So, Doug, what do you have for us today? And we'll circle back to you, Nathan.
Oh, good morning. I hope I'm getting through here. I know we had a few technical difficulties today. Not much to report, really. It's kind of the doldrums. January is my least favorite month because it lasts too long and it's too dark and the sun goes down too early and all those kinds of things. But we are looking to the future. We've scheduled a Dory Days planning meeting for the end of the month, and of course our chamber will meet on the first Tuesday continuously now. We have programs lined up well into the spring, so things are up and running. And with that, I think I'll just say that's it for this month, or for this week, I should say, and we'll try again next week. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Doug. So Nathan, were you able to log back in?
I was able to log back in. Can you
We
hear me
can
better
hear
now?
you. Yes, it's much better.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I use the same telephone as usual.
Technology, right? You just don't know what it's going to do to you.
Exactly. Let me start over. I have a pretty short one today. The Tillamook Police Department provided safety services for U.S. Senator Merkley on Saturday, January 14th at the Tillamook High School. Also, our police department will be providing security services at the community conversation at the Tillamook Bay Community College coming up on Tuesday, January 24th. I mention both of these because it's important that not only our police department is there helping keep our community safe, but also for the interaction and the visibility of our community, our county, our city, our whole community, to show how important we are and how we work together. The Public Works Department, in the Public Works Department, a previous issue with an aeration basin at the wastewater treatment plant is still being worked on by staff. Aeration station is a step in the secondary treatment process in the treatment of municipal and industrial wastewater. An activated sludge process called aeration encourages microbial development in wastewater. The microorganisms that consume organic matter aggregating into flocks that are simple to remove, and the activated sludge flocks at base of bacteria are continuously recirculated by the aeration basin after being settled into separate settling tanks, being a decomposition process. That's a bit long and lengthy, but essentially I wanted everyone to understand that there's a lot of work that goes into our wastewater treatment plant. It's really important. Due to the most recent storm event, Public Works is still presenting an emergency backup power plan for our lift sewer stations. The wastewater lift stations are facilities designed to move wastewater from lower to higher elevation through pipes. If those pipes or pumps fail or lose water, the sewer overflows can occur. During the last storm, our staff was monitoring the lift stations 24 hours a day to ensure equipment ran properly. Moving forward, we're looking at different additional power sources in the case of outage. So we have five or six different lift stations or pump stations, you may call them. And only one of them has a backup power, which is the one that's located on the TPUD's property, the Tillamook People's Utility District. The rest of them don't have any backup power. We also don't have backup power at our wells. And it's really important we have backup power at our wells because we do have backup power at our water treatment plant. However, when we have bad storms, the water gets very, I'll just say, in a layman's term, it gets very dirty. Gets a lot of silt in it, and then it's harder to clean and get to the people, to our customers. So typically we'll take our water and treat it from the wells, which is a lot cleaner. But our wells, we have two wells, and neither one of them has a backup power generator. So we have a lot of things we're working on. These are things that just have never been put in place in the past. So we're working on getting those in place with the money we have coming down the pike. Well, we don't have money coming down the pike, but we're working on doing those with the money as it comes forward. So staff plans on sweeping the streets downtown this week. Please be mindful, street sweeper, to ensure safety. And just really back on the wastewater and water, I just wanted everyone to know that it's easy to see the visibility of our streets and our public police and fire, which is wonderful. We appreciate everything they do. But on the backside, just to be able to flush your toilet and get water coming during a storm event, it takes a lot of work from the public works side too. So I believe on that as well. A fire hydrant on 9th Street and Stowell Avenue that was damaged during the most recent storm will be evaluated by staff. The city has multiple capital projects underway. The most pressing are probably the water transmission line replacement from the water treatment plant to the city. And want to again thank the many people who are involved in getting the $12 million, especially now Senator Suzanne Weber. She worked for 10 years. I didn't even realize it until recently when she met with me and explained she'd been working on it for 10 years to get that funding. So really appreciate her efforts and everyone else involved. And the repaving and adding of ADA ramps on the sidewalks on 5th Street west of Stillwell Avenue. As I mentioned a week or so ago, we've hired a project manager now in the Public Works Department, and she will be working on many projects, but specifically on these two, getting these projects moving. The water transmission line's already moved. It's been advertised for engineering services underway, and the 5th Street project will be underway as well. Various potholes and street maintenance will be done this week by our street crew. This includes fixing several stop signs that are down. Please send any questions or requests regarding maintenance of our streets or parks to the General Public Works inquiries, which is publicworks@tillamookor.gov. So just publicworks at our website, tillamookor.gov. And finally, the last council meeting will be held tonight, Tuesday, January 17th, at City Hall at 7 p.m. This will be, as this is the first meeting held this year by the council, it will include a swearing-in ceremony for the mayor and councilors. And that is all I have, Commissioner.
Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate your report. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience today as we worked with our technology. It's wonderful when it works and certainly infuriating when it does not. So I appreciate your patience. So with that, we are going to give our thanks to KTIL for broadcasting this meeting and everyone for attending. And we will adjourn today at 8:44 a.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous day.